All right, welcome, Philadelphia Eagles fans and any sports fans involved watching the video. This is DB talking now, DB talking birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into some stuff. It does look like yesterday morning, Doug Peterson did go ahead and confirm that Matt Pryor will be the one starting at right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles against the Seattle Seahawks matchup tomorrow night, Monday night. For Monday Night Football. So my worst nightmares have come true. Not my worst nightmares, but that's definitely not who I wanted to see playing at right tackle there. But couldn't weren't very many other options going forward. Anyway, so other things that I want to go ahead and get into as well is it does look like Jalen Hurts has been getting increased reps with the starting team this week in preparation for the Seattle Seahawks game, which signifies that there's going to be a bigger role for him moving forward. There's two ways to look at this. There's two ways to look at this, I think, and it's the same viewpoint as that's been used to kind of assess any two quarterback system in the history of the NFL. It doesn't really work. It throws off the rhythm. It throws off consistency and camaraderie with the main guy, the starting quarterback, that being Carson Wentz. So I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that they do want to get Jalen Hurts more involved because he has added a spark here and there, but I can only see it spelling disaster. And here's the thing: it would be one thing if it were. It would be one thing if we knew how to do this, if we knew how to utilize the guys that we have. I have no faith in Doug Peterson or any of this offensive staff to know how to utilize the players that we have. So I think it's just going to continue to be a disaster and continue to be an absolute debacle. And it's going to throw off any sort of chemistry or camaraderie or consistency throughout the game on Monday night, and it's going to be another shit show is basically what we're going to see. Or I might be completely wrong, and it could turn out to be something extraordinarily exciting, and we might see Jalen Hurts completely take over the game. We will see. Other reports, especially throughout the week building up, have been the essence of Jeffrey Lurie's frustration mounting. There were some reports, he did go ahead and miss the Cleveland Browns game. First game that he's missed in a very, very long time. I mean, Jeffrey Lurie does not miss football games. He goes to every single one. I don't think anybody can identify the last game that he's missed before this one. There was a report early in the week, but it was kind of a foo-foo report because it also mentioned the other reason that I'm about to get into, which is the report said that he did not go to the game due to COVID precautions. But that initial report also threw in there, but it was also because frustration was mounting and he just could not deal with what he was seeing. Follow-up reports after that were that he had left other practices throughout the season, this season, in disgust. He had walked out on practices, which is not something that I've ever heard of or ever seen Jeffrey Lurie do in my time of being an Eagles fan, and I've been an Eagles fan for almost 28 years now. I'm 30 years old, so as far back as I can remember. So that's all very, very interesting. And to go along with those reports too, Jeffrey Lurie his frustration's mounting, so it's a signifier that there's going to be huge personnel changes ahead, huge personnel changes. I don't think that's something that we're going to get away from. I think that's going to be the case no matter what, whether we make the playoffs or not. I don't think Jeffrey Lurie is one who will be satisfied with an under 500 record. He has said that in the past and has always stood by that. Jeffrey Lurie is a no-nonsense guy. He is someone who he's very pragmatic. So he likes to make the right hires, get the right guys, and let them do what they need to do in order to make his team succeed. If they do not, he will make changes. But, he bought the team, and this is coming from the words of former President Joe Banner. He bought the team because he loves football and he wants to win. And we're not winning, and his fan base is not loving football right now, and I don't think he would be either, especially if his fans aren't. So that is a huge, huge issue, especially Philadelphia Eagles fans. I mean, we're going to let you know. We're going to let you know through and through, 100%, 200%, when we are not loving the product that we're seeing your organization put on the field. That's just plain and simple. They moved Jason Peters back to right guard. They moved Jason Peters over to right guard this week. And as I mentioned in the last video, and as we already probably know, it's a few days. That news is already a few days old, maybe 4 or 5. But he popped up on the injury report again. What a surprise. What a surprise. Jason Peters pops back up on the injury report. I have a huge problem with this. He's always getting injured. It's been this way since 2017. You finally let him go in the offseason. You let him go. And we were relieved, and we gave him a proper send-off. We're going to miss him. We appreciate everything that he did for us. But yes, we're ready to move on. And we bring him back, and it just infuriates everyone. And it started with, they brought him back to play right guard, and then Brandon Brooks goes down, and then they bring it, and then Andre Dillard goes down, and then they throw him over, They want to put him at left tackle, but he wants more money to play left tackle. He plays left tackle, and then he gets hurt, and then it's been a complete debacle. And it's been another mistake on Howie Roseman's part. But anyway, that is old news. We don't need to get into that. We already know the situation regarding Jason Peters. He should not be here next year. I don't think he will. So we just kind of have to go along and go for the ride and go for the journey and eke it out, I guess. Another thing I want to talk about is Doug Peterson's press conference yesterday. My God, I just don't understand how this. I mean, can somebody get this guy a whiteboard or something to look at that says, Doug, these are ways that you can save yourself in a press conference? No, I mean, somebody do something for this guy. I mean, he has public relations standing off to the side of the fucking stage. Why don't they just are they prepping him correctly, or what are they? I don't understand what they're doing, because this is what he said. He said, and this is in regards to being questioned about the moving Jason Peters back over to right guard, and why they wanted to do that. And Doug started he prefaced his answer with, this is information that you guys might not be privy to. This is information that you guys aren't privy to, or maybe you are. I'm not sure. Do you see what's wrong with that statement? I'm maybe this might be information that you're not this is information that you're not privy to, or maybe you are. I'm not sure. That means that Doug is saying that if there's somebody in the organization that's leaking information, he's not aware of it. Or at least he's acknowledging that there might be an opportunity, or there might be the possibility that somebody in the organization is leaking information as to why they're making personnel changes. I can't, I think Howie Roseman is running this entire show. I don't think Doug is in charge of personnel decisions. And I think Howie's a snake, and I think he's always been a snake. And I think now his decisions are getting caught, are catching up to him, because they're looking horrible, and that's that. I can't really say much else about it. I didn't mention why Lane was put on IR. He's doing the season-ending ankle surgery, which I'll touch on that briefly because I did miss it in my last video. It's the ankle that keeps nagging at him, keeps reoccurring and bringing him pain, and keeps popping up on the injury report. So he's getting season-ending ankle surgery on that. So that is good. Going back to what I said yesterday, which was it's better to have a healthy Lane Johnson at the start of 2021 season than an unhealthy Lane Johnson for the rest of this season and possibly for next season as well. So, let's get into it. Jalen Hurts getting increased snaps in practice. What does it mean? There's been reports saying, that, are we actually going to see Carson Wentz start? Are we going to see Jalen Hurts start? Who's going to be the starter? That initial article had been put to rest with the follow-ups, just with the fact that Carson Wentz will be the starter going into the game. Jalen Hurts will get increased playing time. I'm hoping that it works out successfully. I'm hoping that it means Carson will come off the field, because defenses are not afraid of our Jalen Hurts package anymore if Carson Wentz stays on the field. They know that Jalen Hurts is mostly going to be a runner, and stacking the box is the best way to take away that option, that Jalen Hurts option. So we'll see what we can do. Really awesome. Miles Sanders talked about the addition of Jordan Howard, and obviously they played together Miles Sanders' rookie year last year, so he has a bit of a good insight on that. Basically just mentioned that bringing in Jordan Howard is a great addition to the backfield, as we probably already know, and makes the running back room more complete. And I completely agree with Miles Sanders there. I think that is a very good very good insight. Why isn't he active for game day? I don't know. We need him active for game day. He still can do some good things. He had playing time at Miami. He played well, I think, in the last couple games he played as a Dolphin. I think he filled in for the starter who got hurt in his last couple games as a Dolphin before he got released, and played well. So Jordan Howard is not necessarily that rusty. He probably didn't. He just needs a week of practice, getting back into the playbook, and then just running it down the throat of the defensive line. That's basically what Jordan Howard needs, and it's really not that hard. You give the ball, You give the ball to a power runner, and boom, straight ahead. I formation. Do whatever you got to do. I don't know. I formation. Yes, that does require a fullback. Throw in fucking Dallas Goedert at fullback. Remember when we had Casey? What was his name? Casey. Former Texans fullback. He was a lot like the guy that the 49ers have at fullback, but he played for the Texans, and Chip Kelly brought him over. I think it was Chip Kelly's first year as head coach. But yeah, he was a tight end slash fullback, and I mean, I think if you need just to get some sort of versatility going, I mean, why not throw Dallas Goedert back there at fullback, and kind of create packages out of that formation, out of that I formation, with Jordan or Miles or anyone. I mean, I'd rather see it with Jordan because it's more of a power formation than it is anything else. But I mean, give some. I mean, and one from that I formation. If you have your quarterback, hot route the fullback on that formation to a check down or a pass play. I mean, it's adding another check down route for Carson. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And who knows? Maybe they have plays like that in there. I don't think that they do, because we haven't seen that in the Doug Peterson era. But I mean, anything to get this offense going. Anything. I'm open to any suggestions, and they should be too. It is extraordinarily interesting that Jeffrey Lurie is getting heated. Walking out of practices, not going to the game. I wonder if he's going to go to the Seattle game. I guess the Jalen Hurts thing offers a little bit of unpredictability for our game plan going against Seattle. Seattle's defense hasn't looked good lately, but other than that, on paper we're gonna get mollywopped. Other than that, we're gonna freaking mollywopped. To Seattle's defense, they hadn't had Chris Carson for a couple weeks. They're getting him back this week, so that's going to be a little bit better for Russ to take the pressure off of Russ. But I mean, yeah, it could be bad. It could be really, really bad. We will see. I mean, a lot of these players that we have on defense don't even deserve to be starting in the NFL. Some of these guys are third string guys. I mean, yeah, you want to get excited about the productive play of linebacker Alex Singleton and TJ Edwards, and don't even get me started on TJ Edwards. He's a good first down, maybe second down linebacker. Third down, forget it. Alex Singleton has looked good. For the most part, he has looked good. But I mean, they're cast-offs. These guys are cast-offs. What was TJ Edwards? Was he a seventh-round pick? Seventh-round pick? Alex Singleton was released from another team, and we picked him up. Nate Gary, don't even have to go there. I'm pretty sure he's injured now, and on injured reserve. they converted him from safety to linebacker to sort of add some sort of versatility. We had no business doing that. He was a sixth round pick. You know, this isn't Pete Carroll and Schneider from the Seahawks when they drafted all those defensive players in the fifth and sixth rounds, the fourth, and it's not like Richard Sherman, who was drafted in the later rounds. It's not like Cam Chancellor, who was drafted in the later rounds. It's not Brandon Browner, who was drafted in the later rounds. It's not our scouting department is incapable of doing that. They're incapable of doing that. That's not what we're putting together here. These small little moves for guys like Jannard Avery and Rudy Ford, let's say that, from last year, or Marcus Epps, like those small little moves, those aren't good, like, secretive moves that you're making. Those are bullshit. Those are bullshit moves. Nobody gives a shit. Like, look at the Browns now after giving up Jannard Avery. You think they give a shit? No, they don't give a shit. Of course they don't. They have fucking Sheldon Richardson, and they have Myles Garrett. They have Adrian Claiborne. I mean, they have Olivier Vernon. They have all these guys. They didn't need a Jannard Avery. I don't even remember what we gave up for Jannard Avery. What was it, like a fifth round pick or something like that? Fourth round pick? My Lord. My Lord. I really want to see them put John Hightower on the field more this week. That's what I want to see. Like, I don't, like, and I'm going to say this again, and I've said this before, I love Jalen Reagor. I want to see him progress. Am I pissed off with the way that Justin Jefferson is performing? Yes, I'm pissed off with the way that Justin Jefferson is performing, because everyone thought it was either going to be CeeDee Lamb that we were going to get, or it was going to be Brandon Ayuk, or it was going to be Justin Jefferson. And the only reason why CeeDee Lamb popped into our heads was because we did not think he was going to fall to the pick right before. Like, we didn't think he was gonna fall that far. And so that's the only reason why we thought we were gonna get CeeDee Lamb. And Eagles fans went wild. But let's be honest, we never really thought we were gonna get CeeDee Lamb. Never really actually happened. That never actually popped into our heads until that night when we saw Dallas pick him up. And what is Dallas doing? They're coming up with packages for CeeDee Lamb, the end arounds. They're getting him the ball in space. They're doing these things. They're doing everything they possibly can to get their first round pick the ball. And what are we doing? Nothing. We got Andy Dalton playing better than Carson Wentz right now because they actually have it so that their route concepts, their offense is running smoothly. It is a bit less complex, or it makes sense. It's just making sense. And I think it's the latter. I think it's making sense. I think their offensive scheme makes sense. I mean, let's be honest. Would CeeDee, if we had CeeDee Lamb, would he be performing the way that he's performing now? That's the one thing that you have to ask yourself. Is a lot of Eagles fans want to say, oh, well, look how Justin Jefferson is doing. Look how CeeDee Lamb is doing. Look how Brandon Ayuk is doing. Look how all these guys are doing. But we took just Jalen Reagor. Or look at DK Metcalf, for example, from a year ago. Yeah, look at all those guys. But ask yourself this question. Would they be as productive in our scheme? Would they be as productive in our scheme, in our offense? Because right now, nobody is productive in our offense. No one. Not a single person. Except for Miles Sanders. But, I mean, there's not a lot that you have to do when it comes to running the ball. You have your zone reads, you have your gaps that you got to read, and you got to read your blockers, and then you got to hit the hole, and you got to cut out of the hole, cut in, cut out, find open lanes. That's what you got to do. You just got to find open lanes. The amount of time from quarterback to running back is a lot shorter than it is from quarterback to receiver. So there's a lot less for a running back to do. No, I don't, and in my opinion, I don't think DK Metcalf would be as productive in this offense, and I don't think CeeDee Lamb would be as productive in this offense. And for those who wanna get all crazy and all upset that we took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, I don't think Justin Jefferson would be playing the way that he's playing in our offense right now. Nobody's playing well in our offense right now. Not a single human being. Not one. So, and I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie knows that. And I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie is looking deep into it. Because Doug has fallen off the face of the planet. Carson's fallen off the face of the planet. Howie has made bad personnel decisions with bad contracts. And we're screwed. $60 million over the cap. I mean, what do you what does a business owner say to someone when their when their financial advisor spends all their money and their business looks bleak? Spends all their money trying to get the business to grow, but the business looks bleak after they spent all their money. Ooh. Well, ask Michael Berry. Oh, you guys remember the movie Good Short, don't you? Michael Berry, housing crash, housing market. He bet on the housing market to fail, and he spent all of his company's money, and his boss was absolutely losing his mind. But he was right. But Howie Roseman is not Michael Berry, so that's that. We need to come out swinging tomorrow night, Monday night against the Seahawks for Monday Night Football. That is the main key. I'll say this again. John Hightower is the fastest wide receiver we have on the field. He needs to be in the game for at least 80% of the snaps, 80% of the offensive snaps. That's what I believe. It needs to be John Hightower, Jalen Reagor, and Travis Fulgham. That's who it needs to be. And on second and third down, mainly third downs, bring in Greg Ward. But first and second downs, first, second downs, and third and shorts, just keep John Hightower in there. And Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham. Alshon Jeffrey has given up. It's interesting because I read this the other day, and it just reminded me of just the pathetic effort that he gave during the end of his tenure when he was with the Chicago Bears, and it's kind of been like that the last 2 years with us. I think he's a bitch. That's what I think. I think he's a bitch, but that's me. He's making way too much money. I don't care if they couldn't trade him. Like they've been trying to trade him since last year's trade deadline. Who gives a shit? You should have and then they try to trade him in the offseason. They couldn't do it, and now they try to trade him. Release him. You're not going to get anything for him. Release him. Deshaun Jackson, I mean, it was another wide receiver that's taken up a lot of cap room. A lot of people think we should get rid of D-Jax. I understand getting rid of D-Jax. I don't want to because I have a soft spot in my heart for D-Jax. I always wanted him to come back after Chip Kelly kind of shipped him out of here. And, we only have seen, 6 games out of him? 6 games out of him since he's been back. I don't want to ship him out. Maybe restructure his deal, but don't ship him out. He wants to retire an Eagle, and I want him to retire an Eagle. And so I would say find a way to make it work with D-Jax, but and I don't think Jeffrey Lurie is going to let D-Jax go. I don't think that's going to be a thing. I think they're going to keep him. But, we're not getting into off-season talk quite yet. Obviously, we're starting to inch ourselves closer to that point because our season is looking so bleak. But, right now we're just focused on the Seahawks and hoping that the Giants lose to the Bengals today. That is key. But with that said, everybody have a beautiful Sunday. Watch some great football. Have some good food. Stay safe. Stay healthy. This is DB talking now. DB talking the Birds. DB talking the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Go Birds, baby.